Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I am Sidra Khalil, lecturer, Department of English, University of Southern Punjab, Multan. I am your course instructor of the subject Modern Novel. This is our 8th week lecture, and in today's lecture we have to do the remaining themes of the novel A Passage to India by E.M. Forster that we have studied in our previous lecture. We have also started other reading of the novel from other perspective, like we have done the reading of the novel from an Orientalist perspective. We have analyzed different symbols of the novel, we have done different themes, and today again we are having some of the other points of the of this novel A Passage to India. So let me start my today's lecture. So today I am going to discuss with you the theme of separation in the novel A Passage to India. So the novel is built around the separation between East and West, not only in politics but also in emotion and spirit. This is not a geographical description of the landscape but also of the mind also. So there are a lot of characters that they shows the colonial barriers keep between the two people with each other, and we can say that there is a difference between the individuals, races and nations. Despite attempts at friendship, true unity between the British and the Indians remained impossible because of the political domination, prejudice and misunderstanding. So Forster presents separation not only as a social and political condition but also as a spiritual and emotional gap that reflects the larger failure of human connection under colonial rule. So textual example of this theme is that no, not yet, no, not there. I already taught you this line. Final line of the novel is this, and this line also symbolizes the impossibility of the union between the English and the Indians while colonial rule continues. Even nature, the sky, the earth, the temples, they seem to resist their friendship. Next theme is theme of race and culture. So there are racial differences and prejudices. These two things dominate the British-Indian relations. The British colonizers believe in their own superiority and treat Indians as inferior subjects. Racial tension is central to the novel. So the British colonizers see themselves as superior and maintain rigid boundaries between themselves and the Indians. This racial hierarchy shapes every interaction from social gathering to the law courts of the novel. So Forster exposes how racism dehumanizes both the rulers and the ruled, creating distrust and resentment on both sides. The novel critiques the hypocrisy and arrogance of imperial power that rests on racial discrimination. So textual lines regarding is that they are not to be trusted. They are different people altogether, said Ronnie. So Ronnie Hislop, a statement shows the racial arrogance of the British rulers who see India's as incapable of honesty or equality. The Bridge Party scene, meant to be promote goodwill, only exposes the deep racial divide as Indians and English, they were sitting apart, they were staying apart to each other. Another example is that the English are a comic institution. The sooner they are abolished, the better. Dr. Aziz Inger, after Adila's false accusation, these lines are said by Dr. Aziz. This line reflects the bitterness racial injustice creates, showing how colonial prejudice destroys human connection. Forster explores the clash of cultures, Western rationalism versus Eastern spirituality. The British rely on logic and control, while Indians value emotion and religion. So the cultural conflict between East and West, between Orient and Occident is another dominant theme that is very important in the novel. The British represent Western values of logic, order and control, while the Indians embody spiritual depth, emotion and tradition. These opposing worldviews lead to misunderstanding and conflict. So Forster explores how cultural differences, when combined with political inequality, prevent genuine communication. Yet, he also suggests that mutual respect and spiritual awareness could bridge this divide in a more just world. So textual line is that we have already studied in a previous lecture. God is here, said Mrs. Moore. God is here, echoed Dr. Aziz. This early moment in the mosque shows how shared spiritual feeling briefly bridges cultural difference. Yet later, misunderstanding and fear in the Malabar case show how easily these connections break down. Many observations about race and culture in colonial India are threaded throughout the novel. A passage to India. It is actually is in some ways a sort of ethnography. We can say it is also a sort of an examination of the customs of different cultures. On the English side, many cultural forces affect the characters. Ronnie is naturally good-hearted and sympathetic, but his public school mindset and the influence of his English peers compel him to become hardened and unkind to Indians. So the other English expatriates, they view Adela as naive for sympathizing with the Indians, and they even admit that they too felt the same at first before realizing the truth. I'm over talking about the Malabar Caves incident. So overall, the pervading culture of the English in India is that one must adopt a racist, patronizing attitude to survive and thrive, and that one's very Englishness makes one superior to the Indians. Foster also examines the English tendency to be rational, without emotion, and what is perceived as the English lack of imagination. Foster gives equal time to analyzing Indian culture. On one level, he portrays the many religions and cultures of the country which are part of the reason India remains so internally divided, like British Muslims, Hindus, and other Christians and other minorities are also there. On the individual level, Aziz is the best developed Indian character, and he too, like the English, is subject to the cultural norms. Foster portrays the Indians as generally more emotional and imaginative than the English, with a tendency to let stray notions harden into solid beliefs without evidence. This ethnographic concept, this ethnography then informs the novel's other themes of the division, friendship, and colonialism that we have already read in our previous lecture. So overall, Foster shows that race and culture are the forces that cannot be altogether avoided, no matter a person's individual intention. Foster gives the greatest importance to interpersonal human interaction and friendship, but he also recognizes the pervasive influence of the larger social forces. So I am concluding my two themes, theme of separation and theme of race and culture, in the way that through these themes, Foster reveals how imperial power, racial prejudice, and cultural misunderstanding make real friendship between East and West almost impossible. So the novel ends with the separation, emphasizing that the true unity can only come when colonial domination ends. So next part of today's lecture is that E.M. Foster's philosophy of life in A Passage to India, that how E.M. Foster portrayed the philosophy of life in this novel. It actually centers on, in A Passage to India, E.M. Foster's philosophy is that it centers on the belief in human connection, tolerance, and spiritual unity beyond the barriers of race, religion, and empire. He also upholds a deeply humanistic outlook, emphasizing that understanding and friendship are essential for a meaningful life. However, Foster also recognizes that colonial power, racial prejudice, and cultural pride make such connection nearly impossible in the real world. His famous moral principle, only connect, echoes throughout the novel, expressing his faith that love and sympathy can overcome division. Yet in the Indian setting, this idea is challenged by the misunderstanding and separation. So Foster, he suggests that intellectual or political solutions cannot bring true harmony. Instead, spiritual awareness and compassion, like that glimpse in Mrs. Moore and later symbolized in the Hindu vision of oneness, offer a deeper path to unity. Thus, his philosophy combines humanism with a sense of cosmic humility, recognizing both the beauty and the limitations of human efforts to connect in a divided world. So this is all about our today's lecture. In today's lecture, we have discussed the two other themes of the novel, theme of separation, and we have already also done theme of race and culture. And after that, we have also studied of E.M. Foster's philosophy of life that he portrayed in his novel A Passage to India. I hope so that you will understand all the points very well, that in case of any kind of ambiguousness or any kind of a problem, you can ask questions from me in discussion room. Thank you so much for listening. Allah Hafiz, stay blessed.